Body shops charge crazy money to paint a car nowadays. Bodymen get paid in gold bricks. I'm so sick and tired of hearing that shit. It pisses me off nowadays. Really, I've heard that for so long from so many people. It is such a blanket statement, and it has such a negative, just a negativity towards it. I mean, it creates such a negative connotation towards all of it, and it ain't justified. It's bullshit. I got triggered last night. We'll call this a trigger video. So just to give a little backstory on why I'm pissed off, and it's the next day. So I'm sitting there last night, and I'm taking 3 hours worth of video that I've been taking in here, working on something that I was going to post that video now, but I'm doing this instead. Anyways, I'm whittling 3 hours down into something that somebody might actually watch, and I got YouTube playing in the background. I watch YouTube on the TV in my living room. Generally, if my wife's busy doing something or whatever, I'll flip it on, and I'm editing a video, and so it's playing in the background. So there's a channel that I've started watching on there, fairly new channel. I'm not going to name names. I'm certainly not calling anybody out on nothing, goddamn nothing. This is all just to set, I don't know, the stage? I don't know. So anyways, this guy's doing a hell of a project. Like I said, I'm not going to say who it is. I will give you a brief detail, though, because it's a hell of an undertaking he's doing. He is taking a steel-bodied car, two-door hardtop, and he's making it into a station wagon. And it's the steel-bodied car he's starting with. It's scrap steel. It's not even scrap steel because there ain't enough car there to be scrap steel. It's a good thing he's cutting it all up to make a station wagon because he ain't starting with no car to start with. And he gets that, he understands it, whatever. Anyways, that's what I'm watching. And as he's going through it, he's saying that he has hundreds of hours into this car. And it's still, I'm not going to say it's a hunk of shit, but it's still, there's not much there yet. And he's got hundreds of hours in it, and I believe it. He is patchworking, like a patchwork quilt, with the little, that's the way he's building this car. He's working with what he's got really good. Whatever you got to do. So anyways, the thing that got me is he's working on it, and he's talking about he's got hundreds of hours into this car already, and yet he's got so far to go on it still. And then he makes the comment that it doesn't matter to him how much time he's got into it because his labor is free on the car. I get that, but the backside of that comment is, if you had to pay a bodyman to do that, bodymen get paid crazy money to do that kind of stuff. Now, this is a blanket statement from me, not directed at him. Kiss my ass. Everybody who says bodymen make crazy money doing that shit, kiss my monkey ass. No goddamn bodyman out there makes crazy money doing this shit. And who wants to do this shit? You're breathing rust dust all the time. You're using grinders and cut-off wheels and air chisels. Holy junk, it just pisses me off that everybody thinks that bodymen in the classic car industry were just gods that float around on clouds in the sky. You're all full of shit. We're not. It sucks, and it's bullshit, and it pisses me off, the fact, they get paid crazy money to do it. Well, so you got a car that needs 485 hours worth of work done to it if a guy works 8 hours a day. Is it my fault that I know how to cut and weld and do body work? Because of that, I'm supposed to work for $2.29 an hour? Is that what's expected? So that you can go somewhere and you can pay a mechanic shop 12 and a half hours, whatever it takes to clean and assemble an engine. Here's your bill for $1,000. You expect me to weld you up a car for $500 more than that? Here, I spent 1,214 hours on your car, but I'm only going to charge you $2,500 because, what else do I got to do with my life? I got bills to pay too. Every goddamn bodyman out there who's doing this shit has bills to pay. And the shops that people think that they make so much money, you know why they make so much money? Because they're on TV. Go find a real shop that's not on TV and find out what their bottom line is. You know what you're going to find? 7 times out of 10, a dusty shithole cinder block shop somewhere in a back alley on a corner where there's 3 guys working there, they're doing it, and everybody drives a hunk of shit to work every day. The big money comes from the big shops where there's the big overlap in that shop, where there's 10 guys working and they're charging big money to do the shit, and that's a very small percentage of the real world out there. It it costs so much money to take a 70-year-old car, 60-year-old car, whatever, and make it nice? Because there's so much work involved. There is so much work involved. Holy shit, there's a lot of work involved. Did I say there's a lot of work involved? Because there is. It's ridiculous, you know, and it just, like I said, there is such a negativity attached to it. Oh my God, it's going to cost me $30,000 to paint my car. That's because it's going to take 2,000 hours to do it. How long is 2,000 hours? People don't realize the cost of the shit to do it. 71 Chevelle. 5 years ago, probably could have bought a new fender for this car, a Taiwanese Chinese piece of shit of a fender, but it'd be a new fender nonetheless, for like $250, $260 here in Kanadistan, where I'm at. Now, it's probably $700. Floor pans for it, they should be $150. They're $300, $400 for a floor pan now. A gallon of clear for something that isn't going to fade out and die out and look like you painted the thing flat black in 6 months. That shit's $600, $700 a gallon now. It used to be $200 or $300 a gallon. And let's talk for a second about the time and the experience that it takes to just be able to jump in and do this kind of shit. So this fella that I'm talking about that's got hundreds and hundreds of hours into his car. So you watch the video, and at first he was just showing you bits of it, and it had some epoxy primer or something on it. You couldn't really see what was underneath there, right? It's all gray, green, whatever the hell color it was. I don't remember. It doesn't matter, and I don't give a shit. So now he started doing videos where he's showing you how he's piecing the quarter panels together on this thing. And I mean, you can see that he's got hunks of steel this big and this big and this big and strips and stuff welded in all over the place. He's trimming up quarter panels and stuff from other cars and using the bits where he needs to. Good enough. Fine. I don't care. Nice. You're doing what you got to do. However, probably wouldn't take somebody who is seasoned-ish in the trade and has been doing it for a few years, wouldn't take them a few hundred hours to get that much work done. I did some paint work on a Camaro a while back, a newer one. And so it's I don't remember what the hell year it is. It's a plastic bumpered Camaro. Late 70s, early 80s. I don't even care what year it was. So I painted it for them. They took everything home. They assembled the whole car. Well, he got a hold of me, I don't even know how many times, because they're trying to get the doors and the fenders to fit that car. Now, that car was never tore apart before they bought it. That car was a factory, and actually it was a pretty rust-free car, but it was a never taken apart, never crashed, never restored, never really worked on Camaro when they bought it. So they got it home, boom, they throw a grenade at it, and they blow the whole car apart. Shit's hitting the floor, shit's everywhere. As they're sweeping up, they're picking hardware and picking shims up out of their pile of shit. I'm not interested in trying to make that thing fit again, especially now that it's painted. Nobody fit shit up in the meantime, in the midst of the progress of the project. They brought me panels that somebody else had bodyworked and primed the majority of them. I sanded the primer and I painted it for them. Then they took it home and tried to assemble all the painted parts. I'm not interested in doing that. Something like that, shit, you want to have that thing assembled a couple of times. That takes time, that takes money, and that takes a little bit of something in your noggin. You got to have a couple of pine cones in your stinking tree to be able to know how to huck that thing up there and get it to fit. If you don't know that and you don't have that experience to do that, it's going to take you forever. And I know for a fact that right now they've done it, they've finished it, and they've driven the car, and he's told me the panels don't fit where the shit. They gave up on it. They spent hundreds of hours trying to get the doors and the fenders to line up on their car, and they still don't line up. The windows don't fit into the rubbers nicely. The door gaps aren't good. The hood and the fender, nothing. It doesn't line up. Well, that takes a little bit of experience to be able to jump in there and be able to do that, right? Doesn't it? Or does it? I think that it does. So you got to pay for that a little bit. Do you paint it in gold bricks? No, you're still not. I mean, holy hell. Trades in Canada, they get paid what they get paid. And honestly, auto body is one of the lower paying trades in Canada. Everybody makes more money than a body man. Mechanics make more money. Plumbers, house builders, carpenters, everybody. And I'm not kidding. And yet we're the ones that get the kick in the balls. Oh, it's going to cost so much money to get you to do this. Oh my God, how much is this going to cost? Well, then take the thing and go pound sand with it. If you don't want to do it and you don't want to pay for it and you can't afford it, you shouldn't be doing it. Pisses me off. If you want something done cheap and you don't really care that you're getting a guarantee of how well it was done, or you don't even really care what they did, put it on a trailer and take it down to Mexico. In Mexico, they'll still do it for you for $5 an hour. Well, that's the end of my video. This one was just a rant, and I offer no apologies for it. So there, stick it.